Hello, everyone. Today is the New Year's Eve. And first of all, I would like to wish you the mental and physical health, and of course, the financial abundance. Today, I'm not doing any historical researches or any videos on cultural differences between Russians and Americans. Today, I'm cooking, and we have a few traditional Russian dishes that Russian families cook basically for the New Year's Eve every year. My choice fell on two Russian traditional salads called Olivier, and another one is called селедка под шубой, which we can translate as herring under the fur coat, or I also saw this translation as dressed herring. These two salads share several ingredients, which is gonna make the process of cooking a bit easier, hopefully, because I will need to boil a lot of vegetables. I would like to tell just briefly about the history of these two salads. The first salad, Olivier, has a French sounding name, and it's not a coincidence. Looks like back in those days there was a French chef that lived in Russia, and he noticed that Russians liked certain ingredients, and on top of them, they kind of like mixing them with each other in on their plates. So he decided to make a salad out of them. And back then, it was kind of like a high cuisine salad. So it had quite expensive ingredients. For example, grouse, which is a type of poultry, quite expensive. Even nowadays, it's quite expensive. And another one was crayfish tails. Uh, Today, when we cook Olivier in Russia, we don't use these ingredients, but we can use chicken and instead of the grouse. Some people do that, but in my Olivier, I'm gonna use the more traditional ingredient, which is like very widespread. The majority of Russians use this ingredient instead of any type of poultry. It's called doktorska kolbasa, which we can translate as doctor's sausage. Very funny translation, I know. Not sure why. I guess maybe like I read a long time ago, it was something like considered something healthy that the doctor would recommend to eat. So yeah, another salad herring under the fur coat. Why this name? Because it's like a very dressy salad. It has layers. It looks like a cake a little bit, so like a very like dressy. So as if you maybe because of that, the people decided that you kind of try to dress the herring, make it looks nicer. Maybe that's what they had in mind when they came up with this name. Yeah, and you can guess the main ingredient in this salad is of course herring. So the herring needs to be lightly salted. No, basically it's fillets, and we're gonna cut them. As for the other ingredients, okay, I'm just gonna briefly tell you the ingredients for the first salad, Olivier. So for this salad, we will need potatoes. Then we'll need eggs. We will also need pickles. So I would recommend buying either Russian style pickles, which I also have here, right here. So this is the Russian style. They sometimes come together with the tomatoes. That's fine too. Or German style. These ones are Bavarian style pickles. I feel like the American pickles are a bit more intense in terms of taste. I don't know. It's like maybe like vinegar or something. So it's it gives like too much of this vinegar taste to the salad, in my opinion. We will also need peas, canned peas, and we will need mayo. So I got a bunch of mayo here. As for the herring under the fur coat, селедка под шубой, we will need potatoes again. Then, of course, we will need beets. We will boil them. We will need carrots. We will need eggs again. So you already can see that some of the ingredients actually are the same. And of course, herring. And of course, for the Olivier salad, Dr. Sausage, Doktorska колбаса. First of all, I'm going to start with boiling potatoes, beets, eggs. Yeah, and of course, carrots. And after that, I'm just going to show you how I cut them and how I prepare the salads themselves. Okay, here I'm boiling the ingredients for my salad. So I will need potatoes for both salads. I decided to use around 6, 7 potatoes for each salad. Yeah, 6, 7, you guys. And why? Because they're quite small. Otherwise, I would use 5, 6. So some carrots too. Not sure if I need that many. I will need carrots only for the herring under the Furcoat salad. Some people use carrots for the Olivier as well, and I'm fine with that. I would definitely eat it. It's not like something not edible for me. But if I cook it myself, I would prefer to do it without carrots. I know that's how my family always cooked it. I have around again 6, 7 eggs for each salad, and some beets. This is only for one salad, herring under the fur coat. I'm boiling quite a lot, especially potatoes, because I'm also gonna use these potatoes for mashed potatoes, which I'm gonna make. But anyway, it's quite a lot, and why? Because what's the most important thing about the New Year's? It's leftovers, just like for Thanksgiving, I guess. So that you can eat it for the next 2 weeks or something. I also forgot to mention that some people put raw onions in both salads. I don't do that because I have some type of issues with raw onions. They kind of mess up my stomach, so I'm not a big fan of them. In my family back in Russia, we would split the salads into halves. One we would have with onions, another one without onions for me. But it's definitely one of the ingredients for these two salads. So if you like raw onions and you don't have any issues with them, you can use them as well. While my vegetables are boiling, I'm gonna briefly tell you what you actually do with the ingredients. So basically, for the Olivier salad, you dice them. You dice all the ingredients. You cut them into cubes. And for the other salad, you will need to get a bit more creative because there are two ways how you do it. For the herring, you cut the herring into small cubes. Yeah. But as for the other ingredients, the vegetables and eggs, you grate them. As for the dishes where I'm gonna put this salad, so for Olivier, I'm gonna use just a regular glass dish like that. I hope it's gonna be enough. It's not. I will need to use one of those saucepan after I empty them. And for the herring under the fur coat, I'm gonna use this glass container because, as I said before, this salad has layers. So basically, it looks like a cake. So I'm just gonna put layers in here. So this is how the doctor's sausage looks like, doktorska колбаса. It's just a piece of it. It's way bigger. Here I have around 300 grams, and I want to show you the size of the cubes that I use for the salad, and basically all the other ingredients for the Olivier salad have the same size of cubes. First, I make strips like that of the sausage, and then I make this size of cubes. So not too big, not too small. These are all the ingredients for the Olivier salad. I'm gonna add mayo a bit later. And as for the herring under the fur coat, селедка под шубой, I'm gonna show you how to make layers for that salad as well. Here's the first layer, potatoes, and I'm gonna put mayo on top. So basically there will be mayo between each layer. Here's the herring fillet. I'm not gonna grate it, of course. I'm gonna cut it into little cubes and put it as the second layer. Here you go. I got the layer of eggs. It's right here, but also I left some of them on the plate because I'm gonna use them later to sprinkle over the final layer, which is gonna be beets. The final layer is ready. I also put mayo on top of it so that it looks nice and kind of homogeneous on top. And now I can just use the egg that I left out on the plate and kind of like sprinkle like this over the top just to make it look nice. And later I'm going to decorate it with some parsley. That's it. Both salads are ready. Let's look at the final result. Here you go, herring under the fur coat. And here you can see the layers. So that's why it's more preferable to use a glass dish. So you can actually like witness all the layers. And here we have Olivier. I'm gonna put it into a nice dish later. Right now it's here because I made quite a lot and I also needed some space to be able to mix all the ingredients together. Here you go.